Hey guys, and welcome back to the GTA 5 stunt jump locations. This is the final part, and as I've explained before, there are 50 jumps, 50 jumps throughout the map, and I've already taken you through the first 40, and this is going to be the final 10. So at the end of this, you will get the achievement for all the stunt jump locations, and you will be able to get 100% as long as you have all the other stuff. If you haven't caught up yet, then go check out the other 4 parts below in the description. And today I'm going to be focusing on the rest of the map. Before I have done the whole city, that's where most of them are. And this time I'm going to be looking at all corners of the map and getting the last few. So this is the first jump, all of them around this area. And this is a pretty complicated area because it all looks the same. There's so many different prongs and you need to find this specific one. And you're going to have to jump over that train track there and over onto the road. Basically, you need quite a long run up for this unless you're using quite a fast car, which I found. So you need to hit just to the left of that wind turbine, just off the edge of that. And as you can see just below me here, there's that train track there. If you clip that, it is a fail. So if you can land on that jump, that works out fine. And that is one jump already done. So the second is just across the road. You've just jumped from here over the railroad and onto this road. So you need to be facing the other way, and just off the side here you can see that small patch of mud. I use the slow motion here using Franklin. You don't need to have that much pace going into this jump, but it does help. You don't even need to hit the road as long as you land it and don't hit that bridge or land too close to the jump. It works out fine. Just have a bit of speed, and that is 2 jumps down, 8 to go. So this jump is the last jump in this small area here, and you don't want to follow where this has actually gone. You want to come off just from here where there is a house, and there is the jump. That is actually a penitentiary just in front of you, this area. So you need to find that house behind you, which looks a bit like this, and then there is basically just a small grassy hill in front of you and the penitentiary directly below it. So you need to pick up quite a bit of pace here. I actually managed to do this first time. It does seem like it is quite an easy jump. There is quite a large gap between the fence and the building, but the problem is here, as soon as you're in, you have 2 stars on you, and there's not much escape there, hence why it is a prison. But not making it out of the prison might actually be one of the best things to do, because the next jump is right here, and that is actually the hospital you would come to, and this is a jump over a motel that is right there. So you need to build up quite a lot of pace. As you can see here, I've started from just next to the hairdressers, and the hospital is just on my left there. There's a very small ramp, and if it is at night, it's very hard to see. So I've used the slow motion here so you can see it clearer. This small bit of cardboard, you need to go over that building and just land that jump. There's quite a lot of space to land after that, so you should be able to do it as long as you have enough speed to get over the motel. So the next jump is just below this on the map. You've just come from this direction up here, so you just need to head past the airport. You need to find this road here and head just south of it, and there is a small track that leads to it with a rock at the end, and you just need to make it over those big rocks basically. There's no distance you need for this, as long as you have enough speed to get over this. And even though there is an airport there, you won't get a wanted level because it's just in the middle of nowhere, and I don't think they really care about it. So that's 5 jumps down, 5 to go, and so far they've all been pretty easy, but they do get a bit harder as they go on. And they do require quite a lot of travelling. As you can see here, this is quite a solitary jump, so you need to follow this road all the way and make sure you get off at this bit here. And just at the end of this, there is an S-bend, and you just need to hit this jump and miss that turn basically. So if you're travelling from the right direction, you'll find it quite hard to miss this jump, because there is the S-bend and you just need to hit this rock, jump over this gap and land on the other side. So as you can see here, I didn't actually make it the whole way across, but it still counts. So you don't need to make it the whole way as long as you can survive and don't go down that gap. As I said, this does involve a lot of travelling, and if you go back along the road you came from, you can find this jump, but you do need to be coming from this direction for this, as you're going to be jumping over a small gap and avoiding that curve in the road. So I found things like quad bikes, bikes and buggies the easiest things to use on this dirt track, as it does give the best turning, and it doesn't really matter with Franklin anyway, but that's the jump there. As you can see, you do need quite a lot of pace, and I only just made it, but it still counts. As long as you make it, it is fine. The next jump is definitely the hardest jump. There aren't any jumps really surrounding this. The nearest one is probably the motel, but this is just off a dirt track and you need to find a huge lighthouse here. You will need a very, very big run up for this because it's quite a large gap, unless you can find a very fast car, but you'll need to bring that from somewhere else. The reason this is so hard is because there's a very small amount of rock you can actually land on. The lighthouse takes up most of that little island, and there's also these things in front of the jump which can affect the direction you're going in. So this took me numerous tries, and you'll see why here. As I said, there's a very small amount of rock you can land on, and that is it. So I actually landed on it and then just skidded off because it's so small. But if you can do that, that is the hardest jump done, and this one is still a bit tricky. As I've said before, I had already done one jump prior to these videos, so this is actually the final jump, even though I will show you the other jump just after this. You'll need to come from this direction, and you'll need to go through a gate and do a few sharp turns, so you need to have Franklin's slow motion driving. I found the easiest way was to come from the petrol station and just hit this jump without that much pace, because I tried doing it with a lot of pace and landed in the next area and it said failed. So if you do it and just land in this tiny area here, it's very easy. And as you can see there, I just got the achievement called Show Off. So that is actually the final jump for me, but this is the final one for you, as I'm guessing you haven't done any and you're following this tutorial. So you've just come from there, you need to head around to this small gap, and you have to come from this direction. If you don't, you will not make it. You can normally find a few quad bikes just down here, and I don't actually understand how the tractor made it because there is a jump in the road. I don't know any other way around it. So this is another jump that's very basic. You don't need that much speed as long as you can make that tiny gap. I made it quite easily, as you can see. But that is all the jumps completed. So hopefully you have followed this and found all of the jumps and completed them yourselves. Thank you guys for watching so much. Leave a like if you found it helpful, and see ya.